Riverdale sometimes deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We've provided a list of content warnings in the episode description. Hello and welcome to Dead Ends. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And we have 2 new episodes of Riverdale for you.
Yes, we do.
New as in they came out in like 2019.
But for this week.
But new for this week.
New for our discussion.
New for us. Well, for us as a collective.
Exactly. As a podcast.
Yes.
But as each individual's here, we've seen this before.
I vaguely remember the Stonewall Prep sleepover, this Thanksgiving one, more than I remember this therapy one.
Yeah, me too. And guess which one I like more?
The therapy one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's fun when Riverdale does a really good job of like breaking their traditional storytelling rules often, and like often enough to keep you interested.
Yes. Yeah, they're going to try something like more than even just once a season.
Oh, totally.
And so I enjoyed the format break as a way to ground us in where the characters' arcs are, because I think otherwise the storytelling in Riverdale does not do that.
No. And it kind of like regrounds us in reality. So I think what the show tries to do periodically is it's like, wait, this is supposed to be like regular kids. So like let's take it back a step and like be like, oh wait, it's crazy that Cheryl's playing house with her dead brother.
Right. Yeah. At least like the show's reality, like it's heightened, right? So it's at least like applying stakes to what's happening there, because I feel like we really lose sight of that in Riverdale. It's like, okay, well, if Archie's setting up this community center, how does that affect the other people in his life? I would really like one step further of like, what does this look like within the town? Because each of these storylines are so insulated, as we've said before. So it's like, well, what does this mean outside of Archie's journey? It's just all about their individual journeys, so it feels so cordoned off.
It also, once again, makes me go, how big is Riverdale?
Exactly. I feel like that's 100% a symptom of of without grounding it in something. Like you had mentioned a few episodes ago, where is Stonewall?
Where's Stonewall Prep?
Yeah.
In relation to Riverdale.
And even things like
Betty took the train there, but like, what does that mean? Where's Brett sleeping in the Thanksgiving episode?
Right. And where's Brett from? What does it mean to be a diplomat's son? Like, what does his father do? You know, just like little things like that to like really tie the world together. And then if the characters' storylines overlapped of like, okay, well, what does that mean for Archie doing this community center, for like how we used to, even in previous seasons, of like Veronica's relationship with her father.
Yes.
And Archie's, I'm picking Archie's one as an easy example here to ground us in Riverdale, of like the gyms in the South Side. What does the South Side look like now?
Yeah. How far is it from the prison? Where is the prison?
Right. And what does it mean now for Riverdale? Is the South Side completely, is there still that North-South divide? Like, what is that?
Is there anyone really living on the South Side anymore?
Right. There's just no grounding in anything. So it's at least nice to have the therapy episode to ground us in the characters' arcs.
Yeah, I agree.
The other thing I was thinking of too is the lack of a mystery kind of pulling them all in like we've had in the past 2 ones. I mean, there is the future one they're showing here, but I feel like without having some sort of mystery they're all working through, like we lose a little
like a connection point between all of them.
Yeah,
I agree.
So, well, with that level setting, should we jump into the cast this week?
Yeah.
Just one person this week, our guest star. There we are. Gina Torres playing Mrs. Burble. So Gina Torres is just one of those people that's just holding it down. That if people who know her is like, oh, she's incredible, and has just done a ton of TV work. And I think showing in this episode, she's amazing as well. So Firefly and Serenity. That's like for the mid-aughts or early aughts, Whedonheads, big on that. She was also in Suits for, it looked like all the seasons. and so even got her own spin-off series that only lasted one season about her character coming out of it. Also, it appeared briefly on Angel, is in The Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Resurrections. In the 90s in Xena and Hercules.
Ooh.
Done some voice acting, was in Star Wars Rebels. Ketsu Onyo, a character that, in my opinion, they could have done more with. And then is a Cora Ray in the Destiny games.
Okay.
But I just had to write this down because there was a show, one of her first bigger shows that she was on was Cleopatra 2525 as Hell. Which is like an action adventure, but it's like comedy. Cleopatra in the 20th century is a exotic dancer who gets a breast augmentation surgery, but it goes wrong, so she's put into suspended animation and then wakes up 525 years in the future.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
And then joins with two women in their fight against the Baileys, armed flying machines that now control the Earth's surface. And then there's like they have a team leader that's just like a mysterious voice. So it's like Charlie's Angels.
Okay.
I just had to note that.
The breast augmentation that went wrong that put her in suspended animation, that was written by a man.
Yes. But the brain to put that all together is
Good
something.
God.
Oh man. But yeah, Gina Torres, amazing actor. But that's all our cast. We just had to do a quick spotlight this week.
Love it.
So yeah, we'll jump back into our first episode, which does not have Gina Torres yet. We'll talk more about her when we get to our second one. But first, we're on chapter 64, The Ice Storm, which is a reference to Rick Moody's 1994 American novel and Ang Lee's 1997 American drama film. So I looked up the film, and it's in 1973, it's like focusing on like two suburban families and over like a day. And it's like all of their secrets and things start bubbling up and all the, it's like over like adultery and like substance abuse and stuff over a Thanksgiving weekend. So it's like one of those things. I feel like this is a particular like 90s thing of like, ooh, hey, bubbling under the surface of suburbia. Like people are really unhappy and doing like, all sorts of like lascivious things.
That's very the FP storyline of this. Like he's unhappy. He's really like I can't take this anymore.
Right. Yeah. I could see
it would
that.
have been more interesting to watch that like bubble up in real time. Like we barely get any of that before FP's like, because it's just like Hiram's mayor. FP doesn't like it.
Yeah, I feel like that. I think of that like yes, it would have been nice to have that bubble up, and then yeah, because I think of that like slightly differently than this, where it's like FP's like, I'm working for a horrible person. What does that mean for someone in my position? Whereas like in the Ice Storm, it's like, I'm a middle manager at a business and I'm unhappy with my life, so I'm cheating on my wife. And we have terrible marriages, so then the kids are like acting out, and like how is all that trauma informing how they act and getting into trouble and things like that?
Well, don't you think there's a little undercurrent of that if you've got you've got these kids who are trying to solve a murder mystery and,
That's true. That's true.
I mean, it's not a one-to-one.
No, yes, it is. It is
I
absolutely
see the
there.
connection.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Alice and Betty. That next episode, 100%. And in this one, Azura Sky returns as. I had to lay this out because I'm like, wait, Dodger's mom looks the exact same as that woman that
that held them hostage.
Exactly.
In their own home.
Yes. After a chick killed a guy, and apparently it's the same person.
So really, this neighborhood, like these two neighbors, are on her shit list.
Yes.
You don't want to live on Betty and Archie Street.
No, because Darla is gonna come after you, Darla Dickinson. Which also, Darla, what's your secret? You're looking very young because Dodger looks like he's almost older than you.
But does Dodger have an accent? She has an accent.
She does. Dodger's not, I guess. Because she's like, yeah, they do the thing of like, I'm from the South and I'm going to get you, to be like that they're like white trash sort of
Yeah.
thing. It's like the shorthand, which
It's like
come
Jughead
on.
lived in a trailer. Like, let's be so for real.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't. Like,
We don't need to.
We don't
play
need
into
this.
Yeah. I don't know for the actor like where she's from, but that's what they're kind of leaning into. But I just found it hilarious. I'm like, is she playing a different character? It's like, oh no, it's the same. All right. So on to the summary. Thanksgiving time, which also related to the movie and the book takes place over Thanksgiving. Hiram won the mayoral race because he ran unopposed. This is another thing. Why didn't we? There was like a whole storyline when Hermione ran for mayor. I digress. Dodger's family is at his bedside and swear revenge. Dodger's bedside, not Hiram's.
Wake up, Hiram surrounded by hillbillies.
That's right. I mean, that'd be pretty good.
No, that'd be hilarious.
I'd be into it.
Yeah, way better than what the show's doing.
Mm-hmm. Hiram stops Veronica before she leaves, and he says, "You were missed at the swearing in, but you can come with us to dinner at the club." Veronica says she's going to help Archie, and Hiram says, "Wasn't a man found beat up outside of his center? Terrible what's happening in that part of town." Archie and Monroe...
Doesn't Hiram own that entire part of town?
Yes.
Because he played Monopoly?
100%. Yeah. He has bought it all up. Archie and Monroe tell the kids they'll keep the center open on Thanksgiving with a hot meal and tells everybody to invite all their friends. Stonewall breaks for Thanksgiving, and Jughead asks Mr. DuPont about Mr. Chipping killing himself. And he's like, oh yeah, it was his alcoholism. And apparently there was no note or investigation. Jughead asks if Mr. Chipping came to him to talk about the Baxter Brothers books and like who was the rightful author. And Mr. DuPont's like, no, and you should forget all about that. Betty packs to come visit Jughead, and he wants her help sleuthing about Mr. Chipping when everything's shut down. We see that Brett was listening to Jughead's phone call. Oh, also before this, it's everybody's talking about there's going to be this big storm coming.
There's an ice storm.
Yeah. Title of the episode. Cheryl tells Tony...
What if we did the whole recap, never mentioned the ice storm?
I said that because I'm like, oh, I don't think I put it in my notes. Well, if I'd looked one bullet down, Cheryl tells Tony the ice storm is coming.
I was like, I don't think you can do it without mentioning the ice storm.
And then she's like, this is a great time to dump my Uncle Bedford's body. And Tony's like, oh, I feel guilty for killing him. And Cheryl's like, it was self-defense. Veronica delivers an amazing Thanksgiving feast from the country club to the community center. Fred deep fried a turkey every year, so Archie's going to.
Indoors?
Yes, this is such a teenage boy thing.
Also, I just like... It makes me think of that episode of Gilmore Girls where they're deep frying the turkey at Suki's house and Suki just gets drunk.
And they're all just deep frying a bunch of things.
Yeah, and then once they've deep fried the turkey, they're deep frying everything. And so she's like, throw like the little kid in. She's like, throw him in. And I'm like, oh, it's great.
It's very funny when it's a different lens.
Uh-huh. They're treating it like a monster truck race, I think is what she said.
Yes. But thank God he does deep fry the turkey. FB comes to shut down the center on orders from Hiram because of the active investigation into Dodger. Archie asks if he can push back, and FB's like, well, I did for a couple hours. Shut up. And then Hiram can do anything he wants because he's mayor.
That's not how being mayor works.
No, but it is like, damn, FP, don't be complying in advance. We're seeing, it's one of those things, this storyline is very resonant nowadays, where you're seeing a bunch of people rolling over for everything.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would resonate like with that.
No, not at all. Not at all. Maybe an opposition party should oppose. Isn't that interesting? And then FP says, boy, if I were in your shoes, I'd say screw him. And Archie's like, yeah, we're staying open. Betty arrives at Stonewall Prep and Bughead hook up. FP is pissed about serving for Hiram and vents to Alice, and she's like, well, you can quit. And he's like, that's what Hiram wants me to do. Again, very resonant. They decide to have Thanksgiving at Pop's and then hook up.
Once again, we get another scene where Betty and Jughead are hooking up, and then their parents are hooking up. And I'm like, what is this choice?
Just don't do this.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Very much so. Veronica finds her family not at dinner, but at home to have Thanksgiving dinner.
The fact that they share a brother is so fucking weird.
Yes.
Huh? I mean, it's not their fault. Like, you know what I mean?
No. But it's And then they draw these parallels, and it's like, this is just really
right.
uncomfortable.
All right, well then.
Uh-huh.
Family tree's a circle.
Yeah, it's like it's not incestual, but we're going to call attention to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't have an issue with it as a concept. I just don't understand why they keep calling attention to
Yeah,
it.
stop it.
I'm like, ew.
Yeah, it's especially when they're all in the home together at the start of the season. It's like, that's not. Veronica yells at Hiram about closing the center, and Hiram's like, well, it was nothing personal. And then Veronica grabs the tablecloth and rips it off along with all the food. Hell yeah. Archie goes to leave for the center, and Mary breaks down because she's missing Fred, and Archie comforts her. Tony finds that Cheryl's Aunt Cricket is down the street staking the house. Cheryl comes up with a plan to scare her off and invite her to Thanksgiving dinner. Nana Rose apparently has some old gruesome family story. When doesn't she? And then Cheryl's going to replicate it. Jughead thinks Mr. DuPont frightened Mr. Chipping into killing himself. Betty wonders what DuPont had on Chipping to get him to kill himself. Jughead shows her printed out yearbook photos, and they each had a pin from the Quill and Skull Society, which is one of Stonewall Prep's oldest secret societies. He says societies. That's another thing. It's like, okay, well, what other secret societies?
Yeah, what else
we
got going on?
Uh-huh.
Secret? How do you know about them if they're all secret?
Not very secret, are they? And that part of the and so he supposes that part of the initiation could be to tell your deepest, darkest secrets. They realize that the radiator is not working super well. I wrote that down just in case something came up, but it doesn't. FP and Alice are at Pop's when Hiram and Hermione come in, and Alice is like, "Why don't you join us?" Pot stir. Jughead goes to gather things from the vending machine when suddenly a man in a bunny mask carrying an axe appears behind him, and then Betty brains him with a golf club, and then Donna in a bunny mask comes up behind them and it's just like, what did you do? And it turns out it was Brett in a mask, and they were trying to scare Jughead. Yeah, that's...
Betty's like, I saw him walk by the door.
So she's like, it's so dumb. What were you expecting to happen?
Well, they don't know Betty.
Oh, that's true.
They don't know Betty.
Mm-mm.
And that's their problem.
Mm-hmm.
When her giving Brett stitches is my favorite part of the whole episode.
It's so good.
Because it's just like, of course she knows how to give him stitches. She can do a suture. It's Betty.
Yeah, and she's like, shut up. Stop squirming. Veronica checks in with Archie and says she's here for him. Dodger's family strolls into the community center, and Archie introduces himself, and he's like, because he doesn't know who the hell they are, because only the Coopers interacted.
And they're not here.
And the Joneses. And so he's like, yeah, help yourselves some food, and I gotta go clean up a mess. Betty stitches up Brett's head. Brett leaves in a huff, and a note falls out of his jacket, and Jughead reads it, and he's like, this sounds like a suicide note from Mr. Chipping. And Brett's like, well, it was an exercise we did to see if we could capture his voice. Brett and Donna leave, and Bughead thinks something's up with them, and they vow to learn what they're up to. Eddie comes up to Archie and tells him the people that came in are Dodger's family. And Archie's like, okay, well, I'll go confront them. And tells them they need to leave and they don't want any trouble here. And then Darla pulls a gun and the whole family is like, we're here for whoever tried to kill Dodger, and we'll wait here until the killer fesses up. The adults at Pop's reminisce about...
I like that they think that the killer would be at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
They're like, well, this wholesome event is where we'll find the murderer.
That's right. Right.
I understand that they think it's Archie, but like, I really don't get it.
No, exactly. You wouldn't think that the person who has a beat up body outside of their center was on behalf of the center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why would they put the body behind their own place?
And then call the cops to come get it, or
exactly.
the ambulance.
Yeah. That's true.
I was like, what is
Arrest this beat up man. No, I was going along with it though, so I was like, what do you mean? Of course the cops are coming to get him.
I was like, not the fire truck, not the police. Who are the other people with the sirens?
That's right.
Personally, the people I think, the fire department also very essential, but the people with the wee-woos, who are coming to save you.
People with the wee-woos.
Isn't that?
I like that.
Wee-woo, wee-woo,
Call 911. We need some wee-woos.
So my grandmother had a police scanner while I was growing up. And of course, we all learned the granny especially knew all the different codes they'd call over the radios. But she could also identify the vehicle based on like the siren. So like a cop versus a fire truck versus an ambulance, like they sounded slightly different, at least in our town.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that has to do with like if they intentionally sound different, or if that literally is just like, this brand made these lights.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, or like this one speaker is going. Like, I really don't know.
She just knew that. Yeah, exactly. Whether she just knew the towns.
Yeah, I never.
It makes sense though. I've never thought about it.
You'd hear something and she'd go, "That's the ambulance," and then you'd look and there was the ambulance.
Wow. In the words of Kevin, she's like the beautiful mind for first responders.
Yeah. Well, and she'd listen to the police scanner all day. So then, like, if she heard your name on it, you got a phone call. My cousin got pulled over driving us home from dance class once I was 10. Her name went over the police scanner, and my grandmother was calling me while I was still in the car before I'd made it home. She's like, "What did your cousin do?" And I'm like, "She didn't turn the lights on the Cadillac." So the cops pulled us over and then taught her how to turn on the lights.
I love this.
She was used to driving a car that had automatic lights, and so she was driving her mother's like old Cadillac, and she's like,
Right.
"I don't know how to turn on the lights." It's like,
It's so funny.
it was great. It was a great time.
And your granny, was quite a woman.
My granny was quite a woman. We should all aspire to be more like my granny. She was the most liberal person I've ever met. I mean, granted, some of her language was of her time. We had to work on that. But in principle, she was the most liberal woman I've ever met. She was always watching the news. Like, thank God she didn't have social media. And that wasn't really a thing for most of her life. She had her police scanner. She had her landline. She was ready to go. We used to joke that, what was the news guy, Geraldo Rivera?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
That Geraldo used to call her before he went on the air to find out what happened.
It's really funny.
That's what my grandpa used to say. So yeah, she was well informed, but also she didn't quite live in the world we do now. I don't know. She voted for Hillary, and then she passed. She didn't have to really. Technically he was sworn in because it was 2017, but she wasn't making memories at that point because she had a stroke. So she really didn't have to witness the mess. And I like to put blame on that election.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think Granny would have had a stroke had Hillary won.
Mm-hmm.
And I stand by that.
Yeah.
We'd still have her.
Mm-hmm.
She would be 106 this year.
Yeah, she'd still be kicking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the woman asked for a cane for her 90th birthday and didn't use it until she was 94. Because
that's incredible.
She just asked her. She's like, "Well, I think I need to have one." She lived alone after my grandpa died.
I get having it just in case, I guess, but that is also that it's like optional.
Yeah, she's like, "This is a cane. I keep it on the fireplace."
Yeah, that's incredible.
She was amazing. Even when you met her, she didn't use a cane.
No.
Like, you never,
yeah.
At the very end, they'd have her with a walker sometimes.
Yeah. When we went to her house to get some things, she had her walker.
Yeah. I think that was more to just help her like keep her balance when she was doing like reaching for things and stuff.
Totally.
But she was with it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she absolutely was.
She was with it. She's sassy.
Yeah.
You didn't get to witness her at her sassiest though.
No.
She was still pretty sassy though.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But she was a great time.
Yeah, totally.
We should all be so lucky.
100%.
And to have clocked out before shit really hit the fan. I mean, and to have lived a full life.
Right.
Like, damn.
A mercy.
Yeah. I mean, sure, she had to live through the Great Depression, but as she and my grandpa like to say, when you're already poor, it doesn't really hit you the same. It was bad, but
Yeah, she's not denying that their things were bad.
No. And she got to vote for FDR.
Yeah.
And then that was her first election, was FDR.
Wild.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
She was born the year women got the right to vote. It's pretty cool. She's a pretty cool lady.
Very cool.
She wasn't born in the U.S., though. She was born in the Azores.
Right.
And then she came over. She was an immigrant, but her mother was born in the U.S., so shit's kind of rocky. We went back and forth a lot.
Yeah,
apparently.
exactly.
They loved a long boat ride.
Well, they can't detain her now.
No. She became a citizen. And she married my grandpa, and he was born here.
Right. Yeah.
His parents were born in the Azores, but a different island. Don't worry, they weren't related. That's what it was like dating Portuguese in my town.
Glass houses, Emily.
Just like Betty and Jughead. I too had to call my family to find out if I was related to someone before I dated them. Luckily for me, nobody lied.
That's
I don't
right.
think. I guess I don't know.
Well, it all ended up okay because I'm not Portuguese.
No, you're not Portuguese.
Yeah.
Though you do have family buried in my town cemetery.
I do.
But my dad's side, which is the only side that's not Portuguese, that would be potentially more closely tied to yours, they were in North Carolina. So they,
Yeah.
wasn't.
We're safe.
Yeah, we're safe. We're good.
We're good.
We're good.
We're good.
That was my biggest fear. Like for a long time, I was like,
no.
oh my God.
From everything you've said, of like,
What if I marry someone and they're my cousin?
Yeah. And I think that was well founded growing up where you grew up.
Totally.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Back to the subject.
If you're from a small town and you have a lot of family, you can probably relate.
Understand. Right.
And if you're not from a small town with a large family, how
You
does
could
it feel?
extrapolate.
How does it feel? You got to go on dates without being monitored by the entire town?
What is it like? Was it Iceland? Like a while ago, it's probably like 10 years, where they set up like a registry so you could check like when you're dating, like to make sure that you weren't related to them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I
So
think
that's what they need for small towns.
Yeah, we needed that for
But that's just the infrastructure of the family, hopefully working at that point.
Anyway.
Yep. The adults at Pops reminisce about Fred, and then Hiram's like, we should all go down to Le Bon Oui and have a drink. Bughead, Donna, and Brett play Never Have I Ever. Jughead, they go around, and then Jughead eventually says, never have I ever been in a secret society. And Donna and Brett keep their fingers up, and it's like, oh, good job, Forsyth. And then he has to finish the flask, so Betty goes to get a refill, quote unquote, and ends up sneaking into Donna's room to look for the stuff they drug Jughead with, but she instead finds a quill and skull tie pin with RC engraved on the back. And then later, Bughead are like, oh, that's Mr. Chipping's initials. At the center, Archie and friends wonder how they'll get out of the hostage situation. A boy goes up to serve the Dickinson's food, and he tries to grab the gun, and then Archie and Monroe have to break them up from going after the kid. Dodger's mom makes Archie get down on his knees and confess to beating Dodger, and then we see that the fryer with the turkey is getting overheated. Archie goes to confess to save everybody, but all the kids pull Spartacus, and they're like, no, I was the vigilante, and she's just like, shut up. And then
You're 12.
Yes. And she goes to shoot when the fryer blows, and Archie goes on the offensive. Veronica stabs one of the guy in the hand with a serving fork.
Love
and
that
then
for her.
Mary grabs the gun and tells them to leave in 5 seconds before she shoots them, and the Dodgers family all gets up and leaves. In Le Bon Oui, Hiram tells FP he appreciates his cooperation with shutting down the community center, and FP's like, I'm here to protect Riverdale, not do your bidding, and they get in each other's faces and eventually start attacking each other, and FP breaks a bottle and puts it up to his neck, and Alice is like, don't do it, and he's
Why?
And FP's like, you deserve this, though, like, the entire town knows it, but pulls back, and him and Alice leave.
You would think even Hermione would be like, do it. Do
Yeah.
it.
Exactly, yeah, 'cause
Everyone
she hates
should
it.
want him to do it.
Yeah. But she's in a, yeah. She's kind of in, I think, that similar situation of Veronica, of like obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Like he creates that obsession through gaslighting and manipulation and all that good stuff. Bad stuff. Jesus Christ. Blossom Thanksgiving. Cheryl asked Nana Rose to tell the story of the first Blossom Thanksgiving, and she's like, the settlers were snowed in, and eventually they started starving and eating each other.
We got a Donner Party.
Yes. And Cheryl's like, it'd be a shame if the story came out when Aunt Cricket is trying to sell the maple business. And Cheryl's like, I hope you're enjoying the meat pies we just made for you. And then her cousin Fester finds a ring in his pie. And Cheryl says, you're eating your Uncle Bedford. But actually, cousin Fester goes, Uncle Bedford? It's like, that's your father. Do you call him Uncle Bedford?
No, I think the aunt and uncle are siblings.
Oh,
Because they
all
both
just
have
came
red
together.
hair. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a family.
No, I think it's like her
So
dad's
that's like her
siblings.
son.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, why is he calling him Uncle Bedford? And then Tony wheels in Jason's body to seal the deal, and Cheryl tells him to back off. She's like, yeah, I keep my brother's body here. Who knows what I'm going to do? Bughead comes back and accuses Don and Brett of covering up a murder and point out the tie pin. Brett says no one pushed him out of the window, and then Betty says, well, someone pushed him to the edge. Donna walks away, and Betty follows her, and Donna says her and Mr. Chipping were having an affair. She tried to break it off with him, and he got aggressive. She got him to back off when she said she'd go to the headmaster, and the next day he killed himself. FP vents about Hiram and says he's a serpent. God damn it. And Alice is like, well, there's no rule you can't be both. And FP's like, yes, if I can be a kingpin and mayor, who says I can't be sheriff and a gang leader?
Isn't that what being sheriff is?
Got him. I don't really know what this means, though, for FP, but I'm excited to find out.
I mean, I think it means he gets to wear his leather jackets.
That's
He's wearing
true.
a leather jacket as sheriff, though, in this episode. Like a fur. I was like, ooh, it's cold. He's wearing his thick jacket.
Cheryl and Tony snuggle up and start feeling better since Uncle Bedford's all taken care of, and then they tell each other they love one another.
While the doll Julian watches.
Yeah. I was like, what? Again, this storyline. She's like, oh, we should be feeling better now that Uncle Bedford's body's out in the river. And they're like, I love you. Okay. Betty thinks Donna is playing them and that there's a possibility that the story she told is just a distraction. Jughead plans to go to the headmaster to talk about the weird happenings at the school, and they hook up and we see that a camera is set up in the corner of the room. Archie leads to the community center and sang Grace Before Dinner. Okay.
Because that's what Fred used to do. Even though he wasn't religious in the show.
There's no
I don't know if there's like if the actor himself was like closely tied or intertwined with his faith. And so this was a way to do that for the second time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To kind of like honor him, since it seemed like another episode where they were honoring him.
Yes.
And they were having the adults do it this time instead of just the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I do find it strange.
Yeah, that all the religious stuff comes up every time we talk about Fred.
Yeah, there's too much religion in our world to begin.
Yeah.
Like in our media.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically Christianity.
Yes. Like we talked about last time, the viewpoint of the show around Archie's whole family is the conservative viewpoint of like the fundamental American values and good suburban family and all that stuff. So it's very loaded. FP goes to the hospital to warn the doctors about Dodger's family, and then they find that Dodger is missing. Jughead goes to talk to his headmaster and sees the headmaster leaving with Donna crying, and Brett's like, well, Jughead, she had to come clean about Mr. Chipping. She was just trying to protect his family by not saying anything, but after Betty broke into her room, she had no choice but to expose all the awful things he did to her. 1 second, we'll be right back on this. We see Betty has a murder board started to investigate Mr. Chipping's death. Yes.
We love when Betty has a murder board. And something else to do besides like...
Yeah, worry about like
family.
the serial killer gene.
Yeah.
Mary and Archie catch up the next day, and she thinks that the deep fryer exploding was Fred watching out for them. And Archie gets an idea to put up a plaque at the gym to honor Fred, and we see that all the main characters gather to celebrate him. The end.
Okay. We're going to start with the concept of morality. Doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go to Donna first. So
yeah.
This whole episode builds around Archie doing the right thing, FP doing the right thing, Veronica in some ways like doing the right thing. Like it's a lot of that, and like right and wrong and what is that? And so assuming Donna is lying, what that plot line is telling us is that they're trying to gaslight Betty and Jughead into like that they're when they thought they were doing the right thing by investigating or whatever, that they made things worse.
Mm-hmm.
What pisses me off is I cannot stand a girl who cried rape scenario. If you ever tell me that one of your favorite movies is Gone Girl, I have some questions.
I'm glad you brought this up. Because if you remember to podcast lore of things that we've talked about, where we've had a big argument around Gone Girl, well, here it is. This is exactly why.
So, for those of you that don't know, many years ago when Gone Girl first came out, Brenton took me to the movie theater and made me watch this movie, and I left that movie so fucking pissed. And I think we had your roommate with us at the time. I can't remember. I was so fucking mad because I was like, there's so many women who have horrible things happen to them and no one fucking believes them. There's so many women that try to get justice and no one fucking believes them. And then you're going to create media under the illusion of like, oh, we've got these powerful female characters and we've got these strong girls and women. And then you're going to tell me that a girl cried rape. And I can't remember where this goes.
in this.
Yeah, in this. But it's setting us up for a girl who cried rape scenario.
Yes.
Or assault or,
In no uncertain terms. Like that, the Brett's little comment to Jughead at the end seals it.
Seals, exactly. It's like, oh, we're playing you.
Yeah. Well, if you hadn't done that,
she wouldn't have done this.
Exactly.
And Betty, because of Betty, she has to. And it's like, why?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't.
See what you made her do.
Mm-hmm. And so it just fucking makes me so mad.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, why? Can you think of nothing else?
100%.
Like, we had Griffins and Gargoyles. We have Dodger. We have Archie in a mask running around. Like, you couldn't think of anything else?
Mm-hmm.
We have Cheryl with her brother's dead body.
Yeah.
Like, and a haunted doll in a haunted manor.
Get creative.
Like, try harder. It just pisses me off. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
No, it sucks.
I also don't like the idea, because it plays that whole like, oh, like, yeah, especially because it's a student-teacher relationship. It's like young women will try to ruin older men's reputations.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It plays exactly into that. Oh, they'll just pretend that something happened just to get them.
Just to
These
get them.
good men.
To get attention, or they don't care about the men. And like, what about their reputations and their families?
Yep.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
I don't like it.
No.
So, anything you want to add to that?
No. You've said it very succinctly. It sucks.
It sucks. It's stupid and it sucks and it's lazy. Okay. I do want to know what the real reason for the tie pin is, because I cannot fucking remember like why she has it.
Oh, the tie pin? Yeah, I can't remember either. This is all big a black hole in my memory. Yeah.
Like, I only remember being like, oh, this is a fun mystery. And like playing with the end of the episode mystery more.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. So in terms of morality and doing the right thing, we also have FP deciding that he doesn't have to play by Hiram's rules. He's got to do the right thing. And he makes the comment to Archie that like, oh, Fred would keep the center open. Like, I'm not telling you to keep the center open, but look, I practiced my winking.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you. But like, you know, your dad probably would. And so I like the idea that like Fred's death not only had a ripple effect into Archie, but also into FP.
No, that's a really good point.
FP was his bestie and they had their, ups and downs and all of that. But that was someone who's very important to him.
Yeah.
And who believed in him. And so I like that. I really like that. I think that's really lovely.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really sweet.
I think that Veronica is also playing with morality.
Oh, sorry, and real quick. Yeah, just to button that too, because I hadn't thought of it that way. But yeah, that really informs the rest of his actions across the episode. Because it's like, damn.
Fred wouldn't stand by and let this happen.
So I really need to do something. Yeah. No, that's really good.
Thank you. Veronica is, I have to do the right thing. And and by that, it's like, I have to not give in to my father, and I have to beat my dad, and I have to obviously help Archie with his community center, but also like just I can't become like him is so prevalent in her. Like, I'm so afraid I'm going to become like him, and I don't want to be like him. I want to be better than that. And it comes up in the next episode too. Like, they really button that in for us, or fold that in for us, button that up for us. Whichever. Pick a metaphor, but I picked two. And I
sound off at home with your metaphor.
And I put the metaphors together in a little kiss.
That's right.
And they don't make sense when you do that. Who knew? But I'm writing a book, and I have such a great grasp on the English language. No, but I think that's really nice to have Veronica also be like, fuck this, and like that doing the right thing is sometimes tearing everything to the ground. Yeah. It's like tarot in the tower card. You got to destroy it to rebuild.
Right. I love her pulling the entire dinner off the table. Yeah. Of just absolutely being like, fuck you. Then being, I didn't put it in my notes, but they were going to go to dinner at the country club. But she orders all the food from the country club to Archie's place. It's perfect.
Yeah. I love it. In other terms of like morality and right and wrong, we get Cheryl and Tony. And I love women's wrongs.
Yes.
I stand with them the entire way. I have some questions, but I stand with them. I love that she lies to them and says that they ate Uncle Bedford. I think that's so because she's like, they had lamb pies, you know, like she didn't act, obviously she did not feed them a person, but it's so fucking funny. It's
really funny. And yeah, that it's, I mean, they're vultures of trying to sell the business, but like Cheryl Tony did kill the uncle.
Well, yeah, but he attacked Cheryl.
Right.
Self-defense.
Right.
See, if Jason wasn't down there, you could have just called FP to then be like, "Hey, this man attacked me, and I had to protect myself."
I've got another place for this that just opened up.
But yeah, I think it's hilarious. I will say they're giving domestic bliss Addams Family style.
Yes.
It's like, well, I killed him.
Really,
I love you.
Yeah. Oh, how ghoulish.
I know. It's very Addams Family, and I'm into it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think they're cute together, and I'm happy for them.
Exactly.
I wish they would put Jason in the ground.
Exactly, and I wish they would be doing anything else outside of the house.
They're very locked in right now.
Like they are the most noticeable. They're in a what's the They're stuck in a bottle episode for multiple episodes.
Yeah, they've been in a bottle episode they're in a bottle season.
Yes.
They've moved into a bottle.
I'm with Tony. It's just like, y'all need to move out.
Yeah. Babe, you got to go to school.
You got to do something.
Okay, so we have that. Then we have the moment FP doesn't kill Hiram. And I think that ties back into the Fred of it all. Fred wouldn't kill Hiram.
No.
But FP should have killed Hiram.
Yeah.
I mean, the show would lose a major player, so you can't. But I think the only rationale for him not killing Hiram, because he ordered a hit on his son.
Yes.
And also, like,
he has done so much damage to this entire town.
Yeah, just why?
Yeah.
Why are we keeping Hiram?
Exactly.
It's the only moment that I go,
Should have done it.
Should have done it. I think other than that, I mean, I love Quill and Skull as like a Skull and Bones, like, one off, but it's like, but we're writers.
Exactly. Ooh, the Quill.
Yeah. I think that was funny.
It's very funny.
And okay, no, actually my favorite part of the episode is when Betty and Jughead realize they can't get food delivered, and then Betty's like, or Jughead's like, I'll go to the vending machine, and Betty's like, I can have my Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. And I was like, that is cute. That's cute. A vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Betty interacting with the Stonewall people because they are so not prepared for her.
No, they're not ready for Betty.
They can bully Jughead, but they can't
bully Betty.
Exactly.
Betty just is not controllable. She was raised by Alice.
Yes.
No one is going to gaslight her harder than her mother.
Okay, not to just, again, hey, bring in Arrested Development again. It was just like, I'm only so mean to you, so the bullies like will never be able to be meaner. It's like, and then the narrator's like, and nobody ever was. She thinks I'm just so critical. That's another flaw of hers.
We'll get into that in the next episode.
Yes, we will. That's a good segue.
I will say my other favorite thing about this episode is we have all our couples together, so we're at least slowly bringing the plots together a little bit.
Exactly.
Like they're touching each other. The plots are touching, except for Betty and Jughead. They're off doing their own thing, but I'm kind of okay with that. And Cheryl and Tony. Yeah, I guess there's like if you're in Riverdale and not in Thistle House,
you're thinking the main four.
Yeah. But it's kind of like if you're in Riverdale and not in Thistle House, then you have one plot. Because the Hiram, Veronica, Archie, FP, like it all kind of ends up blending together.
Yeah, like at least a little bit.
And then you have, if you're in Thistle House, it's a little ghoulish. And then if you're at Stonewall.
But Betty's still doing her own thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because she still has the Charles of it all.
She's
in serial killer Gene.
What would happen if Betty had been dropped into Pretty Little Liars? She would have found A.
Yeah. Oh, things would have been very different. She would have been on the offensive and running shit.
Yeah.
There would be like one of those even if it wasn't A or a person pretending to be A, they would have gotten hit with a golf club.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wouldn't be able to be spooked by like mannequins moving.
No. Betty'd be like, oh, Let me turn off the motor.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Next episode?
Let's do it.
Or, as I like to call this episode, pack your chastity belt, Betty. Veronica's going to Harvard.
That's right. It's like, oh man, it's not, I don't know if it's happened outside of these two shows, but it's weird that it's happened twice. Where someone's like, it's your dream to go to Harvard, and they go to Yale.
It is very funny that this and Gilmore Girls both have that.
Yes. And Gilmore Girls have now come up twice in this episode. So this, chapter 65, is called In Treatment.
When did I bring up Gilmore Girls already?
The deep fry.
Oh, you're right.
Deep frying the turkey.
God, my short-term memory's doing bad. Oh, no.
This episode title is a reference to the American HBO drama of the same name, which is a series that follows a therapist and his weekly sessions with patients, and then at the end of the as well as those with his therapist at the end of the week. So it's like each episode's like a therapy session, and then also his own therapy session with his therapist.
So give a therapy, get a therapy.
That's right. Take a penny, leave a penny, the series. I'll just say up top, I don't know if we'll come back around in this area. Gina Torres is doing so good in this. Just a very like commanding presence where you immediately she's immediately giving authority, like, and that she's know what she's doing, like in a very very calm way of like delivery. It's great. Mm-hmm. They called an absolute professional for this one. Apparently the VHS tapes are back. Jughead does shout out that people had to dust off their VHS players. So, you know, there's some continuity on technology here, I guess, but everybody has these old TVs. Kids are now hearing back from colleges, so Principal Honey asked the guidance counselor, Mrs. Verbal, to take some time with students. So this episode's broken up into, if you didn't watch the episode, individual segments focusing on different characters. So the first one is Betty. Well, Betty and Alice. Betty comes home and finds Alice at home, and it's just like, when did my daughter become a liar? This is an unhinged Alice episode, and we love it. Turns out Betty didn't get into Princeton, so Alice searched her room and found that Betty had birth control pills hidden in one of her dresser drawers in a false bottom.
The leaps and bounds this woman took to invade her child's privacy. Miraculous.
It's so wild. And Alice is like, you are out of control, Betty, having sex and not getting into Princeton. And Betty's like, you know what? We're no longer on speaking terms. Betty goes to the guidance counselor, Mrs. Burble, and then Alice jumps in right at there before they start the session. And then Mrs. Burble holds her ground with Alice and is essentially like, because Alice, of course, comes in talking down to her, because this is Alice. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, Betty, is it okay if your mother joins us for a session? And Betty's like, she would stay even if I said no.
She'd stay anyway. She'd be outside the door with a cup.
Yes. The session kicks off asking about if Betty digs into her mom for all the secrets from last season. Or sorry, the session kicks off. Betty then digs into all the things that her mom has kept secret, like being part of a cult, giving away all of her money. And we get some clarity on this, that Alice was at one point under
the influence of Edgar.
Edgar, thank you. And then joined up with Charles in the FBI.
We don't know when that transition happened, though.
No. We know that it happened at some point after she apparently gave away all her money. And then Alice just digs into all the times that Alice has invaded her privacy and all these things. And then it's almost like 3 minutes.
We also don't know what made Alice realize that Edgar was the problem.
No, they just only generally clarified that she's like, I gave away the money, and that was when I was under his thrall. Mm-hmm. But Betty goes on for like 3 minutes or something with all the misdeeds. Mrs. Burble calls out Alice, calling Betty young and a child, and she's like, why do you keep saying that? Alice talks about reading her diaries, and then Mrs. Burble finds this disturbing.
She's like, you read her personal diaries?
And Betty tells her she needs to accept the fact that she's becoming an adult. Alice says, I'm worried about you. And Betty says, think of all the things you've done to me. Either you start thinking of me as adult or you won't be in my life. Mrs. Burble says Betty's grades and sex mean she's growing up. That makes you scared, and giving her away her college money meant you could control her. Alice says, I've lost 2 kids already, and growing up feels like I'm losing you too. And Betty says, that's what happens, though. And Alice is like, but I love you. And Betty's like, that's not an apology. Why do you do this to me and not Polly? And Alice says, because I love you more. I love you most. Alice realizes what she said, gets embarrassed, and leaves. Now it's Archie's turn. Archie fell asleep in class, and he gets dismissed to Miss Burble. They talk about Archie trying to live up to his father's name. As he starts talking about things getting out of control, she calls out all the cuts on his hands and missing football. And he's like, well, I go out at night. She's like, cruising in Fox Forest. And
She's like, you're gay.
And she's like, it makes sense. And he's like, no. I try to help people, and I'm a big comic book fan, and I need to protect these kids. She calls him out for acting like a superhero because of his grief and anger, and Archie eventually snaps, and he's like, yes, I'm angry, and yes, I'm hurt all the time, and like I want to prevent all these bad things from happening, and no one can, and I worry about my mom being in danger, and I don't know what to do, and he breaks down crying. Mrs. Burble calls his vigilantism an addiction and says running the center is more appropriate avenue to channel this anger and grief, and is like, you should back off from going out at night, and maybe also think about starting a tip line for people to leave things for that they feel like they can't go to the police to. Archie goes to Mary and tells her he's moving out to protect her from being, so she's not in danger until Dodger is caught, and he'll live in the center, and she doesn't have a say because he's 18. Archie takes Mrs. Burble's advice and starts a Riverdale hotline to give people an avenue to report things, and he reluctantly throws away his mask. It's Cheryl's turn. She gets called into Principal Honey's office because she has 26 absences. He puts an
Child's
adult...
work. Child's play.
Yeah, child work.
Child work. I mean, she is.
He put an adult in charge of the cheerleaders and offers her an opportunity to interview with Mrs. Burble. And if Mrs. Burble says she's fit, she can keep the vixens. Cheryl acts hostile in her section, and Mrs. Burble asks if she's ever been to therapy after everything she's been through and calls her resilient and asks how she's been coping. Cheryl says she talks to Jason's dead body and worries she lost her mind. Mrs. Burble says you sit across the room from him, so what's so different from visiting a gravesite or an urn instead? And says, like, you're not crazy for missing your brother. Cheryl says, well, I'm being haunted by Julian. And then Mrs. Burble asks about Julian, and they get all this. And then Mrs. Burble says, Julian's driving you insane then. Cheryl says, of course, he's a blossom.
My favorite line. Actually,
So
no,
good.
my favorite line is earlier when she's like, oh, are you worried? Like, you got a video too. You know, are you worried about that? And Cheryl's
Oh, right.
like, why? I've felled multiple villains with my bow. And I'm like,
really
that's
good.
right. She has felled multiple villains with her bow.
Mrs. Burble says, I don't think you're being haunted. I think you're being gaslit by someone. She also offers Cheryl to connect her with a doctor to see if she actually absorbed a fetus in the womb. Cheryl asks about the vixens, and Mrs. Burble's like, well, I would love to give him back for you, but I'm going to recommend an adult step in so you can focus on yourself for a little while. Cheryl tearfully goes to her locker and pulls out her HBIC shirt and breaks down crying.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, Cheryl needs her vixens.
Yeah.
You give that girl her structure back.
Mm-hmm. This is Veronica's story now. She goes to leave and is once again stopped by her dad. I feel like every time she tries to leave the penthouse. Hiram shows off his first bottle of lodge rum encased on the mantle and talks about his pride in her and his Harvard diploma and asks if she's applied. And she applied early admissions. In class, she gets a call from the dean of admissions at Harvard accepting her. And he's like, also, give my regards to your father and thank him for the rum. In session, Veronica vents about her dad's interference, and Miss Burble asks if his ego and control is to punish her. If she thinks his ego and control is to punish her, and Veronica says yes and lists off all the shit he's done. Mrs. Burble calls her and Hiram out that they're obsessed with each other and that he sees her as an extension of himself and will never let her go, and she sees him as the person that she wants to be, and that Veronica needs to cut ties with him for good. Veronica says she's tried, and Ms. Burble says it only works if you actually want it to. Oof, devastating. Veronica says she does want it to, and Ms. Burble counsels her on going to Harvard, but otherwise she needs to try and pull away from him. Jughead is late to the seminar and apparently hasn't turned in any pages and hasn't applied to any colleges. DuPont recommends he ask Riverdale High teachers to offer him recommendations because he has not seen his work cut out for him, his work ethic at the academy, so wouldn't offer him one. He visits Miss Burble. She asks about Mr. Chipping, and Jughead unfolds all of his theories about his grandpa. Mrs. Burble thinks that Jughead has a persecution complex and acts like everybody's out to get him, so then he can live up to their expectations as the layabout, or like the bad seed. He's also trying to find an excuse to avoid doing any work, and is afraid that he doesn't have the skill for writing. She says that FP did the work to transform himself so Jughead could succeed, and he's going on a quest to prove that Jughead's quest to prove that the man who made FP's life hell was good would really hurt FP, and that he should take a moment to see his quest through his father's eyes. Jughead feels bad and calls himself selfish, and she's like, "No, you're just a high school senior." Jughead agrees to put down the theories so he can do his homework, and Miss Burble says, if you do follow this theory, actually do the work and investigate. Don't just fall back on conjecture and anger. Also in this, they do like different shots for like Jughead.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like closer up, like more like 3/4, and he's like in the left side of the frame, and some of it's like handy cam. I was like, interesting.
Oh, I didn't notice the handy cam.
Yeah, it was like toward the beginning. Epi comes home to find Jughead there, and Jughead hugs him and thanks him for everything he's done. Betty comes home and finds Alice making dinner. Alice acts like everything is okay. Betty finds mail on the table for her, unopened.
Wow.
And a check made out to her from her mom. Betty tells Alice she loves her most too.
Which is fair because her father's a serial killer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Alice did not have competition.
No. The bar's in hell. Archie gets a tip from a kid worried that the man down the hall from him hits his mom. Archie breaks his pencil in anger, grabs his mask and bat, and goes out. Cheryl got her test results and finds out they're negative, so she didn't eat Julian in the womb. And Tony is really confused what the test is. And Cheryl catches Tony up on it and about Mrs. Burble's theory that she's being gaslit. Hiram comes in mad that Veronica turned down her acceptance to Harvard, and Veronica's like, well, look better in Yale blue. She tells Hiram that he's cut off. Hiram calls her on her bluff, and Veronica says, my guidance counselor said I could kill you, and so I'm going to take you on in the field of business and beat you. She downs her drink and says the bottle she cracked open is better than the stuff he's making now, and her rum will be superior. She leaves, and Hiram sees that she opened his first bottle. Jughead shares the good news on all the work he's done for school, and he also applied to colleges. He also found a bunch of Quill and Skull members died in crashes in the past. And Betty's like, if you're right, you need to transfer. And Jughead's like, why? But I'm so close. And then flash forward, Betty, Archie, and Veronica are in a police lineup, and Brett and Donna say they saw them kill Jughead. The end.
Okay. I'm leaving off that like the through line mystery of the season because we don't have enough to like really do anything with it.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't find it intriguing to mull over.
But I think my favorite of all of these is Betty and Alice's.
Oh.
It's just so fun. But it's also interesting because it's the only one where the child is not being asked to change.
Yes.
Betty does not have to change anything.
Mm-mm.
And to be fair, yeah, what does she have to change? Like it's correct. Like that's not a critique of Betty.
It's a really good point.
But so I was thinking it through and I was like, Alice changes. So in Betty's conversation sparks change. Veronica changes. So that conversation sparks change.
We can come back
because she centers it on beating him in business.
Yes.
I think it's because she has to, like, because the therapist told her to kill him. So it's no longer trying to win his approval, or is it? I can see it not changing. You know, like as I talk, I'm like, I'm convincing myself out of it.
Yeah, because the Mrs. Burble said she needs to cut him off, and that would be no contact. Like, I'm gonna do my own thing. But in this, she's like, I'm gonna rub it in your face. So it's still that same obsession.
I think it's like she's like, is she moving out? I can't remember.
She is.
Yeah. So it's like I'm cutting off contact, kind of. It's like we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think you're right.
I would say that she was, if she wasn't directly going up against him, of like, I'm going to beat you once and for all. Like, that's still the obsession.
Jughead has changed. He has had a realization that he's hurting his father. Cheryl has changed because information has been presented to her to prove that someone else is gaslighting her.
Yeah.
And then Archie does not change.
No.
Archie is very stuck in his ways.
Very pointedly does not.
So we can dig into them a little bit deeper, but I was just like, I thought that was a really interesting, like, fun little way to look at them. It's like, did this actually incite any change?
Yeah.
So Alice is fucking nuts. You've already explained the Edgar stuff. I had made a note to make sure we explained that. But
Sorry.
I mean, she is.
Yes, she's just the worst overbearing mother you've ever seen.
And she was so bad at even being an overbearing mother. Like, she disappeared for months. Like,
Yes.
Betty gets into it.
Mm-hmm.
You watch the whole thing. But Betty's like, you did weird shit, Mom. Worry about that. Don't worry. Like, worry about how you're impacting me. Don't worry about how I'm behaving.
Yeah.
And I think that's so poignant for parents and people who interact with, especially people whose brains are developing and they're like coming into early adulthood, because it's so easy to focus on what people are doing without thinking about the why.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Betty's not like inciting a resurrection.
Did I miss something?
She's not like inciting violence or like hurting
Oh,
anybody.
were you gonna say insurrection?
I wasn't, but like, you know what I mean? It's just, it got
Where was
religious.
Betty on January 6th? We haven't gotten those episodes.
They stopped the show before then. And you know why?
In that flash forward, they don't tell us.
They don't tell us where they were. There's a lot of weird outfits.
A lot of questions.
Anyway, but she's not inciting violence is where I was trying to go. She's not like
No.
getting herself into trouble like in a like dangerous way. She didn't get into fucking Princeton.
No.
And I don't know why, because if she wrote her personal essay on her father being a serial killer, she probably would have gotten in. So she was probably like me, who didn't realize that writing your personal essay was basically saying, hey, here, have pity on me.
Right.
But like professionally.
Yeah. And it's really pointed to like the whole thing that Alice is going for is that Alice takes that she's out of control, that it's a problem with Betty.
Yes, exactly. You are behaving badly. And she's like, Mom, Jughead sleeps in my room.
Right. And like, I didn't get into a prestigious college. How is like
Yeah,
that mean that I'm
bad.
out of control or exactly bad? Yes.
Exactly. I think the I love you the most thing is very interesting and very loaded.
Yeah.
Because like she abandoned Betty for Polly and Charles at different points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we know she was working. She's like, oh, your brother. So when she has that meal with Betty and she cuts her off, is that when she's already working with the FBI? Because she's like, oh, your brother, you'd love to meet him.
Oh, maybe.
Huh. I don't know.
Could be.
I'd have to look at that compared to when she gives away the money. You know, the whole
Right.
whole thing.
Yeah, I can't remember how that goes down. Because I mean, even if the other reason would be that she is under Edgar's spell where they do that weird thing where they pretend someone's there.
That's why I'm like, I don't know which one. And she sells the house still.
True. Yeah.
Like abandoning your kid and selling their home is fucking wild.
Yep.
So I think that like the whole I love you the most, but then that's how she treats her.
Yeah.
And like that I love you the most, I'm controlling you.
Uh-huh.
It's just very interesting.
It's heavy.
Whereas like Betty being like I love you the most too, Mom, makes sense because like Hal's a fucking piece of trash and he's dead.
Mm-hmm. And look at the rest of the family, right? Polly was trying, I guess we don't have confirmation. She thinks at least that Polly was like trying to gaslight her with like when she was like calling the house trying to like spook her about the Black Hood. And then Charles she's suspicious of and doesn't really know him.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just think that's like, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I think the Alice and Betty conversation in there is a very good illustration of how a child should voice their independence and stand up for themselves in a controlling situation with their parent like that. Like
Totally.
I feel like because of the way she's like doesn't accept an I love you as an apology. She tells her mom what she needs and that her mom has to like essentially agree to that and also threatens to cut her off if she doesn't like work on changing. Like I think that's all
she holds
really
her accountable.
Yes. I think they do that really well.
I wonder if they set this up so that Betty and Veronica are being contrasted where it's like Betty sets these boundaries with her mom and it works. Whereas like Veronica with Hiram, she's now in this, she's back in competition with her dad.
Yeah.
And it's like now she's trying to make her dad just as obsessed with her as she is with him.
Yes. It's like proving herself. Yeah. She did the same thing that Mrs. Burble says of like, you have to actually want to.
Exactly. Which I really love. So some of my favorite lines from Veronica's little scene is, I'll never know if I could do this on my own. Her dad robs her of that independence and self-discovery and confidence of like, I did this based on who I am, not based on who my father is.
Yeah.
And then also she says that her father has a bank vault for a heart.
Yes.
And I was like, that's beautiful. That's poetry.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a great metaphor.
I'm like, that's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have that, and then I think we can like compare it like a Archie Jughead situation.
Yeah.
So Archie's trying to carry on his dad's legacy. They're both very paternally centered.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm trying to carry on this family legacy, my dad's legacy. I want to help people. I have to be the hero. I view my dad as a hero, so I have to be a hero. I read all these comic books and all these heroes, like when bad things happen to them, they became heroes, so I have to take this bad thing and become a hero. And unrealistically.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting that we present this kind of like it's a new concept for him when he did the red circle before.
Yes.
The only difference is he's doing it by himself now.
Exactly.
But I think that she's like, set up a tip line. Horrible advice. Why would you tell a high schooler to have people call him about crimes?
Yeah.
What's he going to do about it?
Yeah. And this is right. He's going to go out and
like, I think she was like, oh, I can help. And it can be like a therapy line almost, you know, like helping people through these situations. And he's like, and we'll bring violence to the party.
Yeah. She doesn't bridge the gap that he needs to not be doing this by himself.
Exactly. And so he takes the lesson that like he needs to cut himself off from his mom to keep her safe. And then I have to go out there and fight people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I'm going to try. Like, not. It's like, no. It's still the same impetus that he had behind the red circle of there are bad people out there, and I need to be the arbiter of justice.
Exactly.
It's that same the conservative fascist thinking. And of these people need to be punished. Totally.
And to compare that to Jughead, who's like desperate to make a hero out of his grandfather who beat his dad and was a mean drunk. And I assume he beat his dad. I can't remember, but he was a mean drunk. And I think it's implied.
I think so.
And that Jughead didn't realize until this moment that he is hurting his father by trying to celebrate this man who was awful to him.
Yeah.
And that just because this may be true, but how you go about it matters so much more than rushing to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I really like that lesson because I think that Jughead really needs someone. Like Betty's always going to be like, yeah, we're going to solve the mystery and we're going to do it thoroughly and we're going to do it correctly. But Jughead's going to chase everything because he was raised as a serpent. Like the luxury of time is not there.
Yeah. And raised poor also. So it's like we've had to fight and scrape for everything.
Yeah.
The world is against us. So like
the victim mindset or mentality.
Yeah. And it's like, I think that's very good of Mrs. Burble calling that out. And it's like, you're in a position to succeed now. Like you need to not, I guess, like take advantage of it, but you need to like put your full weight behind it because like of course you're scared, but like you need to try. You can't like let these opportunities like pass you by.
And I think that's a really important message because I think I do this. Like I know so many people that do this. I will rush towards getting something done because I set myself an arbitrary deadline or a timeline or it has to get done. And I don't take my time and both enjoy it, which is like part of living life. I mean, not that he should enjoy investigating this, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't take your time and give it the attention and thought it deserves. And it like this is so important that it deserves his focus if he's going to do it correctly.
Totally. And not coming up with a conclusion before you get there. Oh, I'm not going to succeed.
Totally.
I can't do this.
Yeah, so. I'm going to always be the outsider.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because he's Mr. Popular everywhere he goes.
Exactly.
They're obsessed with him.
They are.
Everyone's obsessed with him.
And I mean, dang it. I lost the phrase of like, the reason you hate me is you know what I mean?
You hate me
Like,
because you ate me.
yeah, but that wasn't it. Oh well, but it's exactly that. It's like why does Brett have to come after him so much? It's like, well, you're thinking
Because
about
he's
me.
jealous. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's taken up a lot of real estate in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
What I also find really interesting about this, so I had a false thought this entire time we've been watching it. And mind you, this is the second time we've watched this. I thought Jughead's grandpa was dead. I don't know why.
It is not confirmed yet, so I don't know. I can't remember.
But like, so when it's like, oh, all the OG Quill and Skull members have died except for DuPont and probably Jughead's missing grandpa.
I see. Right.
And I'm like, I thought he was dead. So I was like, oh wow, it's only Mr. DuPont. Like obviously Mr. DuPont killed him. And I was like, oh no, his grandpa is not dead.
Dead. Right.
I don't know why I have this false memory, but like I was like bamboozled when they said this in the episode. I was like, what do you mean his missing why are we not trying to find Jughead's grandpa then to ask him what happened?
100%.
Doesn't that seem like the useful thing to do?
I'm sure it'll come up, but I'm surprised it has not come up yet.
Exactly. Like if we all knew he was alive,
maybe we could like hear his testimony.
Yeah, check the phone book.
That's right.
Okay, and then we have Cheryl. Kind of like in a silo once again, but I really like this because I think we really needed to bring Cheryl's arc back down to earth.
Yeah. And
so one thing, I really like the way this counselor treats these students. I do have a question though. If a student came to a counselor and said, I keep my brother's dead body in the house,
you got to report.
Do you? Is it a cause for concern? Like, is it a health hazard? He's obviously embalmed.
Right.
I don't know how that works and what that, because she compares it to having an urn.
Right.
Or being like visiting a gravesite.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, so we should put Jason in an urn. Like, I thought that's where she was going to go with it, is like, so maybe it's time to put him at rest and you can visit that spot instead. And instead, she's just like, it's not that weird.
I thought that's what she implied.
I think, but she doesn't say it. And
No.
Cheryl's not going to take it unless it's said.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I thought that. Yeah, exactly.
Like, how is it any different? And I'm like, so she's normalizing this to Cheryl.
Interesting.
Like, that's how I took it.
I took it as like, she's like,
you should do this.
Yeah, exactly. That she's trying to
gently guide her in that direction.
Exactly, because she knows that Cheryl's in a bad way.
I agree, but I also think that it's such an urgent issue that like you kind of have to be like, why are you hesitating to put that physical barrier between you?
That is fair. That is fair.
Like that doesn't, and she asked really hard questions, so I would think like, hey Cheryl, if you bury your brother's body, we'll give you your vixens back, would be like a really great incentive.
That's true.
Because like that's got to be the thing that they're like, oh, we don't want to let her be in charge of the cheer team. I really like that Cheryl says I've lost my mind and I don't know when it happened, because I think that like that's a very human, beautiful moment. I also think acting wise, Cheryl and Betty's are the best in this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's great. This show does not have subpar actors.
No.
But I think that they really were able to embody the emotions. And I have to think, especially when you're playing Cheryl with these ridiculous plot lines, to be able to humanize that and like make you feel something. Like I was like, oh, damn, like she's really getting me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad for Cheryl and her. I mean, I always felt bad for Cheryl conceptually, but like in that moment, I'm like, I get it, you know?
She was like, thank God, like I have this episode.
Also, I love that she's told you've endured lifetimes of trauma.
Yeah.
And you already did the, of course, Julian's bothering me. He's a blossom, or haunting me, driving me insane. He's a blossom. But I think that because she did that, so she changes, but it's because of outside information. And we don't know how she's going to act about Jason now.
Yeah.
But we do know she's like, someone's fucking with me. I don't remember who's fucking with her.
I don't either.
Is it her mom?
Maybe.
Is it Tony?
I don't think it's like
I
that.
don't think it's Tony.
It's like,
well, because
maybe
Cheryl was fucking with Tony.
Right. But I don't think it's...
Maybe it's Nana Rose.
I think it's someone from her family.
Okay.
Like
Like
you
a
know what I
blossom.
mean? Yeah, it's not Tony. I don't think we ever take a heel turn on Tony.
I didn't think so, but then I was like, why? I do love that Tony has no idea what's happening.
Uh-huh.
Like, I
She's
thought
like,
it was
"Great,
really
babe."
funny that we included that. Like, normally you would just pretend like she'd already told Tony.
Uh-huh.
But instead, Tony's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, cool, babe. What?
I thought that was so funny.
It's really good. But yeah, no, it's a breath of fresh air for Cheryl's storyline to have it, like you said, humanized.
And grounded
Yeah.
somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, all these grounded in the characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it feel so much better. It's a good episode.
It makes it feel true.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, even when you're writing ridiculousness, like, it has to have truth to it. And, like, this re-anchors everyone in their truth.
Yep.
And I think that's important. Because I think for a while there, we were kind of losing everyone's truth.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, when you have all these things happen without any anchors to them or shaping the characters, like, it's just like, why am I watching this?
Also, Archie Andrews is incapable of change.
Yes.
He's that, like, you know how people are like, some people just never change. And it's like, well, some people do. Archie Andrews does not.
No. Right back to it.
And I get Veronica in a sense because it's her dad.
Yes.
It's
family's
different.
Family's really hard.
But I'm like, Archie, I don't get it. I don't want to leave my house in the dark, if I'm being honest.
That's that angry white man, right?
Yeah. Not my favorite.
No.
Not my favorite kind of man. But I did like this episode.
Yes, me too.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
It was very nice to consume too. Sometimes when we're watching this show and I'm trying to like anchor into themes and what's going on, obviously I can't pull that until the end. Usually, I mean, I can kind of look at what the movie or whatever that the title's based off of and kind of, but sometimes it has nothing to fucking do with it. Or it's not really like the heart of, like, it's a subplot and it's not the heart of the issue. And so in this case, it was very nice to kind of anchor into these emotional, like, who is this character in this moment right now?
Totally.
And I liked that.
Yeah, me too.
I liked
think,
both of these episodes.
Yeah. And I think in the way that we were able to talk through it there, like, yeah, who's taken something to heart and started to change and who hasn't? What does that mean?
Well, and who thinks they're changing? So, for example,
Yeah, right.
Veronica thinks she's changing.
Yes.
Veronica thinks she is following what she was told.
Yes.
Veronica believes. Archie does not think he's changing.
No. He's like,
he's like, I need to do better so that the people around me don't get hurt and so that I don't get caught, basically.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm doing this and you have no say.
Exactly. Oh, I'm so pissed. I can't just sit here and do nothing.
It is interesting that Betty, Archie, and Veronica all are doing the I'm my own person, I'm in charge, and like you are no longer allowed to influence me and my decisions to their parents. Whereas, and obviously Cheryl's emancipated, but Jughead is like, hey, Dad, I'm sorry about how I've hurt you. But Jughead has been parentified from the beginning in a sense. Or like,
yeah.
So it's fun to kind of look at that too.
Totally. Yeah. That doesn't make sense for Jughead because he's had to do everything on his own for forever.
Exactly. He's already been an adult.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, the leader of the Serpents. Jughead's had a job.
He has had a job.
His resume is weird.
I know. Who's in charge of the Serpents right now?
Are there serpents anymore?
I guess not.
Is Jughead still technically in charge of the Serpents?
Was there ever a change of power?
I don't think so.
They're all just scattered to the wind. That's why we haven't seen Fangs or Sweepy.
Yeah. Miss them.
Yeah.
Well,
you can find this podcast on all your podcast platforms of choice at Dead Ends. You can also find us on YouTube at Dead_Ends. Vendrinic makes the podcast art, and you can find a link to their Tumblr in all the episode descriptions. You can also follow us on Blue Sky at Dead-Ends, and you can also find us on Instagram at deadendspcast. And you can also send us an email to deadendspcast@gmail.com about the episodes, question about things we're covering, or anything else you want to email us about. And then subscribe, like, tell your friends, and give us 5 stars on those podcast platforms.
Thank you.
I think that's it then.
Well then.
We don't fit in.
And we're not gonna fit in.
That's right.
And we love you.
We love you so much.